Well, Roger, thanks for being here with me today. I thought you might have some words of wisdom for my viewers, and so I'm excited to see what you're going to have to share.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, and we'll do this interview and see where we go.
Yeah, like there's no script. It's just kind of off the cuff. And so I'm curious, when you think about when you were a kid, what's one thing that you thought was like a really big deal as a kid, but that you now know wasn't?
Oh, wow. I guess getting older.
You thought it was a big deal to get old?
Yeah, always wanted to be older because I was always around older people. I was the youngest in my family, and my dad was the youngest in his family. So I had lots of older aunts, uncles, cousins, you name it. My sisters are older than I was. So I wanted to be older. I don't know whether it's such a great gig.
now you're like, oh, maybe that wasn't such a good thing.
There's benefits to it.
But you definitely just wanted to be older.
Yeah, just so I could do some things with others that were that age, right?
Yeah.
Because being the youngest, I was youngest in school too. Like I started young because back then we didn't have kindergarten. We started in grade 1. So I was 5 years old in grade 1. So all my peers were 2 to 3 years older than I was, or at least a year, right? Because some had been held back too. So I was around older siblings and older friends. And so, yeah, you just want to be older, right? To fit in. It's a fit in thing, right?
Interesting. And so like now when you think back over the course of your life as well, and what's something that you are super proud of having accomplished or changed in your life?
Well, I would have to say meeting my wife and having kids. That's probably the biggest accomplishment anybody can have, right? Wow. And then see your kids grow and mature and become real useful people in society. That makes you pretty proud. Yeah, that's probably my biggest accomplishment. I mean, I've done lots of different things in my life, but that would stand out first and foremost.
Being a husband, being a dad.
Being a dad is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's a huge responsibility too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think that you strike me as somebody who would take being a dad very seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And you're always questioning whether you're doing the right things.
I bet. I bet, because there's like no manual for that.
No, she's right. Shoot from the hip and hopefully you get it right.
And then did you always aspire to like get married and have a wife? Or?
Yeah, I did, because I mean, that's kind of the culture of the day. I mean, I'm closing in on 58. So, I mean, when you go back to the 70s and 80s, moving in and just living with someone was just starting to catch on in the 80s. In the 70s, everybody was getting married yet. So, I mean, and because I had the older siblings that got married too,
aspired.
I just wanted somebody to enjoy life with.
Yeah, right? For sure.
What
would you say is secondary to being a husband and a dad? What would you say you're most proud of having accomplished or changed in your life?
Probably, my career goals, right? You set out thinking you're going to do one thing, and then all of a sudden things change and change again. And with me, they changed multiple times. I had initially started out when I was young thinking I was going to be a farmer, because I was a farm boy, aspired to take on the family farm. Well, my mom kind of said, well, you got to have something as a secondary cushion. You can't just rely on the farm. So I went and took a course, and it's like a journeyman course. You would a trade, and that's helped me throughout my life. I've used it off and on, and I farmed for a little bit with my dad and his brothers, and then I farmed with him again till he got sick, and then we had to rent the farm out. But I would say the accomplishments in life and what you do, in my course, I basically was able to use it. I took on other things too in my life, multiple different things. I think I've done well. Disappointed with the things I've done. Some things didn't turn out. Some things turned out pretty good. And the big move out here to BC from Saskatchewan, that was probably the biggest thing that was an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's huge. It's a big, like we were just talking about that with somebody earlier, that making a move to another place, some people never even move out of their neighborhood, never mind out of province or across the country.
Yeah, especially when you're 55 years in one spot.
Ooh, okay, so you were 55 years in one spot.
Yeah, in Watrous, Saskatchewan. Then I born and raised there, and then pulled my roots and moved out here.
So I can only imagine that took some courage or some faith or something.
It took a bit of thought process. It was 2 motorcycle trips out here to BC from Saskatchewan, first to Kimberley, and then this one out to Revelstoke, and then south out here to Kelowna, that kind of opened up my eyes to the rest of Canada. This being a beautiful place that I wanted to maybe perhaps retire to.
Right.
or look at retiring to. Because, yes, we had a place that was very nice and family out there, but it was a beneficial move for my son. I think he needed to come out here just to be, first of all, take the course he wanted, and then it's helped him a lot because he struggles a little bit with social anxiety. So
well, and so you did it for you and your dreams, but it sounds like also for your kids. So a testament again to being a great dad.
Yeah, well, we try.
Yeah, you try. Good stuff. Good stuff. When you think back, say your earlier years in your career, I can imagine you'd be chasing some sort of success of some kind. What kind of success were you chasing? Just
to be successful in life. I don't think I didn't really aspire to a typical goal of, I want to be a dentist, or I want to be a doctor, or I want to, change the world in a big deal way like that. I just wanted to be a successful individual that could contribute to society. And hey, I was brought up with principles that I think were pretty good, because you just, you want to do to others that they do to you. So, that's kind of what I grew up with. So that kind of inspired me throughout my life, and I figure I've pretty much done that, or at least tried to.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we're all successful at it.
For sure. So then it sounds like your success that you were chasing was just to have a good life, so to speak.
Yeah, a comfortable life.
And so then was it achieving a certain amount of money, or was it a house, or was it happiness? What was important at that time?
The most important thing, I think it's being happy with the situation you're in. And everybody aspires to have a home, because home is where your central point is, right? We're lucky in Canada to have that.
That's true. And so now, like you said, you're coming close to 60. Mm-hmm. When you think about success now, what does that mean to you today?
Being able to finish my career, being healthy, so staying somewhat healthy, and just enjoying a little bit of time, relaxing, not having to chase that goal of work all the time. It would be nice to retire, but sometimes those things are off in the distance.
Yeah.
A little farther than the one expects.
But I'm actually hearing that even though maybe you wanted to retire earlier, and that you're happy with where you're at, and you feel accomplished and are living the life that you actually really wanted to.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I have. I would have to say, one of the goals that I took on, it's going on 15 years now, but it was motorcycle riding.
Okay. What do you mean? How was it a goal?
Well, I always was able to ride, quads and dirt bikes and stuff at the farm, but I never had an opportunity to ride openly on the road and be part of a group or with people and clubs, and it's nice to be able to do that now in my older age.
Yeah, so that was something you actually aspired and wanted.
Yeah. I've always wanted to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cool.
Did you have a dream or a vision of the motorcycle that you would want to have and own?
Oh yeah, I've always wanted to own an Indian and a Harley, and by God, if I don't own both.
Yes, you do. You do. That's amazing. It's interesting. And you had set your sights then on making that happen. Mm-hmm. What do you think you had to do on the inside? I guess what was the inside job in order to make that happen?
Overcoming fear and overcoming the stigma that my family had against it.
Oh, well, what do you mean?
Well, my mom was dead against riding motorcycles. She just didn't like the idea.
Safety kind of thing, or just no? It's bad people do it.
Yeah, well, I guess it was a genre that she grew up with. Yeah. Back then, it was the rebel that rode the motorcycle, right? Mm. And safety too. As a mom, you worry about your kids.
I guess as a dad,
you do too. But
my gosh, you're going to break their necks.
That was so. I just never had the opportunity to take that next step. But as I got older, of course, you make your own decisions and make your own choices. And I was able to take it on and took a course. So I knew what I was doing. And I love it. So
you knew you wanted to ride a motorcycle. There was some fear there initially. Mm. And what was the fear about? Riding properly. So not to cause an injury to myself or others. And that's a big thing. Sure it is. And you said, you wanted to be married and be a dad. There's no courses for that. That had to be scary to be knowing that you're going to have kids on the way. And well, we didn't have kids right away. We got married, and then it was 10 years later. It was situation that helped us make that decision, because we got to a place in our lives where our careers were developed, and we had moved
out to the farm, and what better place to raise kids than on a farm in a small community. So we decided. And my wife was getting to the age, she says, we were going to have kids soon.
Yeah, better do it. Clock's ticking, honey.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that was, it was situationalism. That's what it was. Yeah. Wherever you are and what your time frame is, not everybody's time frame is the same.
I guess I'm curious, was there fear that played into that? Were you ever fearful of,
oh God,
am I going to be a good dad? Am I going to be a good husband?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember holding my daughter in my arms. The first thing I thought was, I got to look after this child now for the next 20 plus years, right? I don't think you ever do give up looking after your kids, even after they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever. You're still helping them out. So yeah, no, that was a big fear. Absolutely.
So how did you overcome the fear and just lean into becoming a dad? And
you just buckle down and do it.
Buckle down? What do you mean? Like, how does somebody buckle down?
You just take on the responsibility and do what you have to do. And yeah, sometimes there was some pretty scary moments with my wife and I, because our changing of careers and what we were doing. And I started a new job. We had a new family started with their kids and very little money. So things were extremely tight. I was working 5 different jobs.
Wow.
My wife was working too, because the farm, we weren't farming, but we were renting the farm out. So everything else we had to do around it. But I still had to look after the farm, and I had animals, so I had to look after those too. So I worked my butt off.
That's what I hear. It sounds like you worked really hard to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's like a bit of a work ethic or something, I think, there too, because some people would just be overwhelmed by that.
No, I'm sure.
What would you attribute to like helping you get through that, do the jobs, stay in the game, keep working?
Grit. It takes a lot of grit. And when I say that, it means you got a lot of things that sometimes come up against you, and you have to be able to work through it. And emotionally, sometimes it wasn't always a great thing, you know. It gets to you. Can get you down pretty quick. You know that you're looking after somebody, and I had good examples. My dad and mom were good. They went through the same thing.
Yeah, I think every parent thinks it's going to be super easy breezy, but then they realize you get into it, and it's like, there's the challenges.
Yeah, there's all sorts of challenges as your children grow. But I mean, that the biggest, like I said, that goes back to success in life. You see your children grow and become adults, responsible adults.
Well, and I think too, as a parent, I can only imagine, like you said, there's no manual, or when we had said about like there's no instructions in terms of how you do it or how you be a great husband. I can only imagine that there's times where you did mess up, and then there's this like inner critic that gets activated and like, it says that you failed, or there's this pressure.
To
Did
this
you ever
day.
hear that?
To this day. Oh yeah, there's times I think about it. Yeah. And it's like, I don't think I was a very good dad. I'll sometimes express it to the kids, and Dad, no, don't say that. You were great. No, I know there was sometimes I screwed up. Oh yeah, absolutely. How
do you deal with that inner negative voice then that comes up and not let it take you down?
You work through it. Go for a motorcycle ride.
Yeah. Do something.
Clear the head. Yeah, I find that helps. Anything that I can do to take away from the emotional strain of life, be it from work or for family or whatever it is, if you go and do it. I've learned that, because if you try and hold it in and work through it, you're not. Just go and relax and let your mind. I always say to people, let your mind relax.
What does that mean, to let your mind relax?
Quit trying to solve every problem. Life is full of them, and you're never going to solve them all.
Hard to do, though, hey? I think like we can get stuck in our minds and like overthinking and just, but it sounds like you've found that taking that step back, even the breath or ride, that's been helpful.
Do something different. Some people do physical activity, and some people do running, and some people do walking, and I like walking. That helps too. But you have to, because I was in a situation years ago where and medication helps. Be honest, the doctors know what they're doing now with mental illness and anxiety, and they offer you the proper things to help you cope. But there was a time when I couldn't cope. That was when we were first married, and anxiety will overtake you, and I know that from a fact. But the older you get, you learn how to work through these moments and let go. The biggest thing is to let go of a lot of things that will eat you up. You can't fix it all. You just can't.
But letting go is so hard. There's been things I've done in my past where I'm like, I just beat myself up over it,
Yeah, but are you going to fix it by thinking about it and worrying about it?
No.
It's done.
Yeah.
What's done is done.
Yeah.
All you can do is change the future. You cannot change the past.
So, but it almost sounds like that's like a stepping into that or something, an acceptance of
It is.
I can't change
It's an acceptance of life.
Yeah.
Because life will kick you when you're down. And if you can't just let it go. My wife is very good at that, at letting go. She's been an equalizer in our family for years, with helping the kids and helping me cope. And, she's just that kind of individual that is very good at it.
I've met your wife. She's amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible. What did it take, I guess, because you're just like, oh, you got to let it go. Practically speaking, how does somebody truly let it go?
Don't know. It's different for everybody. So I don't have the answer for that. You will find it yourself.
How did you do it?
I sometimes just need alone time to contemplate or just go do something. Go do something else. Like, I'll keep myself very busy just so that the mind doesn't start dwell on things that are negative.
Oh, like a distraction, you mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're controlling kind of where your mind is going.
Yeah, you got to learn how to do that.
That's a great advice, actually. And when you think about these lessons that you've learned over the years, because you said you sort of learn it over time, when you think about this, like, how do you think that those lessons that you've learned have shaped the way you live life now?
Big time. The way I was when I was in my 20s to the way I am now in my late 50s is an incredible difference.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How so?
Back then, anxiety and stress and worriment were high. But as you go through life and you go through those things, you think they're a great big deal when you're 20. And you look back and it wasn't such a big deal.
Yeah.
you know? You overcome some of those things. You look to others, too, as well, because I often think of I could have had it worse. And you look to other people and how they've overcome some of their things. And it's like, really, it's not that bad. Yeah. It is in the moment. Don't get me wrong, because everybody's like that. But you can overcome it.
So it's like inspiration in a way. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. This has been an incredible conversation. And it sounds like you, like a younger person, struggled with more so with anxiety and things like that, pressure, and that you've learned over the years. So I guess, I don't know, if you were to take this conversation and pull from it a gift for somebody else who is listening to this right now, who feels like that, like they're stuck or they can't go on or they're struggling with the anxiety, what would you pull from this that you'd want them to take? Just
try to take your mind, because that's the biggest controller of your entire body, is your mind. Take your mind and utilize it, open a different door in there. I guess if you have two different doors, there's one that you can open that's going to lead you down a path that's going to stress you out and not get anything accomplished, or open the other door. And sometimes to open that other door isn't very easy, but open the other door, because behind it is clarity. And the only way you can sometimes attain that clarity is to struggle to open that door. It's not easy to open that door, but open it, because that's how you get through some of the issues that you're dealing with. And sometimes words are easy to say, because I know when you're in that moment, it's an anxiety feeling, almost to the point where you can't breathe, right? Yeah. I think and I know we've all been there. But you almost have, it's like opening a door that's rusty.
That's a good way of putting it.
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't struggle to open it, to get what's behind it, then you're just going to take the easy way out, is sometimes the worst way out, because you'll follow that easier door to go through with the anxiety, and it'll get worse, right? So sometimes the best things for us aren't easy. Absolutely, they're not. Nothing comes for free. So you got to work at it. Yeah, no kidding. Your biggest, I guess, like key takeaway then for somebody? The biggest key takeaway from the conversation today is don't give up. It's easy to give up. And it's not easy to struggle with some of the anxieties and things that you deal with, but hang in there. Time changes everything, and you just have to motivate yourself to push through some of the situations you're in. Some people struggle with economic issues. Some people struggle with mental issues. Some people struggle because they've lost somebody. Yeah, it's not easy. I've been through all of it, but you push. Yeah, you got to push yourself. It's easy to take the easy road, but you have to. So if I was going to say something, you just push yourself through those times and moments in life. And if somebody said to you, well, Roger, like how on earth do you push yourself in those difficult moments? It's your mindset. I think you might be right. Yeah. No, you have to set your mind to it. It's not going to come just by letting it happen. Mindset shift. Yeah. You got it. Yeah, change gears.
Yeah. See, there you go. On the motorcycle and in the brain, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gears are good.
Yeah.
Gears are good. Well, this
Yeah.
conversation was great. Thank you so much for it,
Oh,
Roger.
thank you
I
for
really
having me.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
was
think it's
fun.
going to be a big inspiration for many people.
I hope.
Yeah.
Because, I've been through a lot, and I hope people that have been through a lot can take a little bit, just a little bit from
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for it. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.